Hello everyone, welcome once again to Everyday HDR. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit about dodging and burning. Dodge is a fancy word for make an area on the image lighter, and burn is a fancy word for make an area on the image darker. This comes from the old film days when you'd have your negative on the enlarger and you wanted the whole image came out like this one right here. You've got some areas that need to be darker and some areas that need to be lighter in order to push them and pull them. To do that in the film days, you would expose the area for a period of time, and then the areas you wanted to get darker, you would block out the area you wanted to remain light and make the other areas darker, hence burning more image into the photographic paper. And that process went a little bit like this. If this was a 10-second exposure under the enlarger, but you needed an extra 5 seconds to get the background darker, what you would do is take a piece of cardboard after that 10 seconds went by, and you'd put that piece of cardboard over the bird, and so you don't want that to get any light, you'd block it out and you'd move it around like so that the edges remained fuzzy and you didn't get a hard edge, like a hard piece of cardboard edge, and then your background would be darker. So there's a really easy way you can do that in Photoshop. You can go and you can just start dodging and burning right now, but that's destructive because it happens right on the layer. You could duplicate the layer and you could do it that way also. Or you could make your dodge and burn happen on a layer, and that's the way I choose to do it. So I'm going to make a new layer by clicking on the Make New Layer button. I'm going to go to Shift F5, and that's going to bring up the fill. I'm going to fill that with 50% gray. Press OK. Now I'm going to change that to Overlay, and now nothing happens. You're not seeing the overlaid 50% gray, because Overlay removes anything that's 50% gray from the image. So we can do our modifications to dodging and burning right on this 50% gray layer. So I'm going to select the burn tool. Well, let's do the dodge tool first because this area is going to be a little bit easier. I'm going to select about 23%, and I want to affect my midtones, and I want the tones to be protected. I'm also going to click these because I'm working with a tablet, so I get pressure sensitivity on my tablet. I'm going to make my brush larger by pressing the right bracket, and I'm just going to start going over this real quick. Start pulling those areas back in on the bird. Okay, and that's probably enough. It's just real light. If you do it too much, you can always just take back your exposure a little bit, or paint back over this with 50% gray. Now, if you want to switch real quick on the fly to the dodge tool, you go ahead and press the Alt button. And now where I paint is going to make those areas darker. So I want the background to kind of disappear a little bit because it's taken away from my bald eagle here. It's making its presence less known. So you see what's happening is with the dodge tool selected by pressing Alt while I was on the dodge tool. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. I'm pushing the image back. Now if I release Alt, it's going to bring up my dodge tool once again. So you could go over here and you could switch the tools, or you can press Alt while you're working with them. So right now I'm working with the dodge tool. So when I press Alt, it's going to burn. So I'm holding Alt right now, and I'm burning those areas back there. To pull that, I'm pulling that bird out from the background. Now I'm going to switch back to the dodge tool, and I'm going to dodge out this branch here to make it look like he is actually sitting on that branch, and that branch is not part of the background. Pull up his feathers a little bit more, just paint it in real easy. Now, before and after. Before, the background is kind of taken away from my bald eagle, and after, I've got a little bit of the face needs to be retouched a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in there onto the beak because the beak kind of disappeared a little bit, and have my burn tool selected and make that a little bit smaller. Just go in and burn that nose back in a little bit, maybe the eyes too, just give those a little bit more presence. And now when I zoom out, I've got myself a nice little bird that's popped off the page a little bit more. Push back, pulled off. Push back, pulled off. So that's how you use the dodge and burn tool in a non-destructive manner by recreating a new layer on top of it. Alright, hope that helps you in your future endeavors, and just know that this dodging and burning process takes mere seconds compared to my old film days when I would spend hours in the darkroom trying to get an image perfectly dodged and burned. So I hope you learned something new. As always, if you would like to learn anything new, you can always email me or leave me a comment, and I will do my best to make a tutorial that's specified just for you. Alright, take care.